While clone troopers did fill the initial ranks of the Imperial Stormtrooper Corps, we don't really hear much about their transition. There are some sources that cover it, but today we're going to be talking about one of several cloning experiments that the Empire did after its formation. Even during the Clone Wars, Kamino wasn't the sole producer of clones for the Republic Grand Army, but under the Empire, things broadened a bit more even. Many, if not most, clones produced for the Empire in its early years were made using the FET DNA and using Kamino techniques, though they also started introducing more Arcanian cloning techniques. The Kaminoan techniques were generally seen as effective but relatively slow, while the Arcanian techniques were seen as being faster, but usually creating subpar or in some way inadequate clones. These Arcanian cloning techniques led to the creation of the Empire's GeNode cloning program. This program included more mental manipulation than even the regular flash training would involve for the clone troopers during the Clone Wars. They ended up being unswervingly obedient stormtroopers, but there were significant drawbacks. With the GeNode program in particular, it was crucial that the clones not realize that they were clones. There was a lot of brainwashing that went on in mental manipulation to make them not realize that they were surrounded by people who looked exactly like them, or to prevent them from knowing that they came from cloning vats themselves. There were many cases where GeNode clone troopers would realize this and fly into a rage, attacking any and all around him, thinking that they were surrounded by imposters. This made the GeNode program relatively short-lived, and the Empire did eventually transition into using primarily recruited or conscripted soldiers. While a lot of this information comes from the Essential Guide to Warfare, this program was initially introduced in a short story by Stephen L. Kent in the Galactic Battlegrounds Strategy Guide. In the initial plan, this was meant to be more of a direct description of how a lot of cloning in Star Wars would have worked, especially when it came to clones being used by the Imperial Stormtrooper Corps. Jason Fry, the main author of the Essential Guide to Warfare, wanted to include a nod to this while still making it work better with what we've learned about cloning since, and I think it ends up being a kind of cool retcon that helps build up the way that the Empire initially started organizing its forces. There was still some connection to the old cloning techniques of the Republic, but they were trying to change things to fit more what the Empire needed from their stormtroopers, being more in quelling rebellions rather than fighting a broad-scale galactic war with clear sides. Either way, that's going to do it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and hope to see you next time.